compassion fatigue, and empathic distress. Contemporary neuroscience affirms that chronic exposure to trauma and suffering overstimulates the brain's empathy circuits, including the mirror neuron system, anterior cingulate cortex, ACC, and insula, producing a state commonly known as compassion fatigue or secondary traumatic stress. According to neuropsychologist Dr. Tanya Singer, empathy-related overactivation without concurrent emotional regulation leads to empathic distress, which is self-focused and ultimately depleting. In contrast, compassion as a trained, effectively regulated response sustains altruistic behavior without causing burnout. Sustained activation of the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal HPA axis in chronically stressful environments results in elevated cortisol levels, which damage the hippocampus, affecting memory consolidation, and impair the functioning of the prefrontal cortex, the center of rational decision-making and executive function. This biochemical cascade disrupts emotional regulation and heightens the activity of the amygdala, the brain's alarm system, leading to hypervigilance, irritability, and emotional exhaustion, all hallmarks of clinical burnout. Psychiatrist and researcher Dr. Bessel van der Kolk emphasizes that trauma exposure reorganizes the brain's neural pathways, especially in individuals with prolonged empathic involvement in others' suffering. In his seminal work, The Body Keeps the Score, he illustrates how emotional labor transforms physiological states, underscoring the need for somatic practices and reflective distancing for psychological resilience. In the missionary context, this data acquires spiritual gravity. When a priest, religious sister, or lay missionary continuously encounters death, poverty, and spiritual darkness without time for recuperation, the neurobiological systems that enable empathy begin to backfire, converting the grace of solidarity into the agony of emotional depletion. Father Henri Nouwen describes this internal movement poignantly. The danger of compassion is not that we care too much, but that we can no longer care at all. The paradox is that excessive, unregulated empathy can lead to depersonalization, numbing, and even cynicism, the very opposite of authentic Christian charity. To carry the burdens of others without the inner support of grace is to place ourselves in a posture of crucifixion without resurrection. St. John of the Cross, paraphrased commentary. Recognizing this phenomenon not as weakness, but as a neuropsychological threshold, is vital for a sustainable and humble apostolate. Theologian Karl Rahner once reflected that the missionary is one who has learned to bear the weight of the world in prayer, knowing that their strength does not come from psychological resilience alone, but from divine indwelling. Only in the Holy Spirit can one know that Jesus is Lord. 1 Corinthians 12 verse 3.
Breath of fire lights the flame, calling hearts in every name, sent to walk this world anew, with love as white as skies of blue. Spirit whispers soft and clear, guiding steps where none appear. In stillness, trueness, truth will shine, a mission vast, a plan divine. Send like rivers, flowing free, through the valleys, to the sea, where the Spirit's voice rings true. We are sent, just me and you. Hands of hope, they rise and build, empty hearts with grace are filled. Where the Spirit plants the seed, every soul finds what they need. When the winds of doubt arise, lift your gaze beyond the skies. Feel the fire, hear the call, Spirit moves within us all. Still like rivers, flowing free, through the valleys, to the sea, where the Spirit's voice rings true. We are sent, just me and you. through the valleys to the sea, where the Spirit's voice rings true. We are sent, just me and you. Just me and you. Hands of hope, they rise and build. Empty hearts with grace are filled. Where the Spirit plants the seed, every soul finds what they need. When the winds of doubt arise, lift your gaze beyond the skies. Feel the fire, hear the call. Spirit moves within us all.